Where did we come from? This is the most important question ever asked. Governments spend billions of dollars to send scientists to Mars and answer this question. The answer is here in this video. But first I will talk about the scientific theory of evolution. Evolution is the process in which species change from one state to another through natural selection. Darwin made this theory in the year 1859 in his book On the Origin of Species. To understand where did we come from, we have to understand what we are made of. We are made of 100 trillion cells. Everything alive is composed of cells. Inside the cell, there are proteins. Proteins are responsible for cleaning the cell, the structure, the size, the energy transformations in the cell, and all the day jobs inside the cell. There are 30,000 different types of proteins, and they are made of combinations of 20 amino acids. Amino acids are arranged like alphabet letters, linked together in long chains, 100 units long. Proteins are like written sentences, and the amino acids are the letters. If the amino acids are sequenced correctly, then we get a functional protein, a word that makes sense. The letters we need to build a protein in even one cell organism will fill hundreds of pages of printed text. Suppose a typewriter has 20 keys, a key for every amino acid, and the word to be typed is cut. Typing at random, the chance to hit C is 1 out of 20, and the chance to hit A is also 1 out of 20, and so on. Because events are independent, if two events are statistically independent, then the probability of both happening equals the product of the probabilities of each one happening independently. So the chance of the three letters matching the word cut is 1 in 20 to the power 3. We have 20 amino acids. So it's like we have an alphabet with 20 letters. If the amino acids are not arranged in a specific order, we will not get a protein and we will not have life. At 20 letters, one has one chance in 20 to the power 20, which is a huge number. It is a 27-digit number. The probability equals to winning the lottery 4 consecutive times, time after time. And this is the chance for the first 20 letters of the first 20 amino acids to give you a 20-digit long chain that will make sense as a functional protein. Scientists estimate that they could fill a 1,000-volume encyclopedia with the coded instructions in the DNA of a single human cell if the instructions will be translated to English. The probabilities of writing in this way a book with 130,000 letters, only one book, are inconceivable in human terms. The probability is 10 to the power of 100,000. 20 to the power 20 is a huge number. 10 to the power 200,000 is an inconceivable number. Just for comparison, check this out. In all the universe we can observe with our telescopes, there are 10 to the power 79 atoms. 10 to the power 79 compared to the number 10 to the power 200,000 is nothing. Even if every atom of the universe was filled with humans typing random for billion years, I said billion 8 times, hence 10 to the power 72 years, their probability to make a book will still be less than one chance in 10 to the power 100,000. Hence the probability of making 30,000 proteins from 20 amino acids by chance is none, zero. Unless you think that you can win the lottery billion of consecutive times, time after time. Logic and mathematical probability dictate impossible. And that's not all. The proteins themselves make machines. One machine of the thousands that exist is the bacterial flagellum. 14 different proteins of the 30,000 proteins that exist make the parts of the bacterial flagellum. To construct a machine like the bacterial flagellum, you need mechanical engineering, physics, chemistry, mathematics, fluids, architecture, biology, and all this in infinitely small space. The motor of the bacterial flagellum has many parts with water cooler, propeller, stator, etc. Scientists call it the most efficient machine in the known universe. This infinitely small machine has sensors to communicate with the environment and is running at 100,000 rounds per minute, can suddenly stop, change direction, and start spinning 100,000 rounds per minute the other direction. It is the most efficient machine in the known universe in infinitely small size. With our current scientific knowledge, we cannot create a machine like it in our level of space. Not only this, if a part is missing from the machine, it will not work. All the parts have to be there. All are necessary for this machine to work. Not only you need the specific parts, but also precise instructions of assembly. You also need machines to coordinate the timing of the assembly instructions. Those machines require machines for their assembly, and those machines themselves require machines for their assembly. There are thousands of other such mechanisms in a cell. If one of the pieces is missing or put in the wrong place in the wrong time, your motor is not going to work. Charles Darwin says in his book, In the Origin of Species, if it could be demonstrated that any complex organ existed which could not possibly have been formed by numerous successive slight modifications, my theory would absolutely break down. Nowadays, Charles Darwin, if he knew the recent discoveries, would deny his own theory. The bacterial flagellum has broken down his theory according to his words in his book. Natural selection can only work after the bacterial flagellum is there. Natural selection cannot get you the bacterial flagellum. It can only work after the flagellum is operating. There are as many machines in the body as there are functions that the body has to do. Hearing, smelling, seeing, tasting, feeling, all require machines. The brain, lungs, heart, kidneys, muscle need those machines. Okay, so who has the instructions needed for constructing those machines, the bacterial flagellum? This is where DNA comes in. DNA contains the instructions for the development of all these. It's the DNA that has the instructions for making all the proteins from the 20 amino acids. Inside the DNA, there is information in the form of 4 chemicals, the A, C, T, and G. The video you're watching right now is made on 2 bits, 0 and 1. YouTube, Counter-Strike, all the internet, all the programs are made of the combinations of 2 bits, 0 and 1. The information on the DNA are made by 4 bits, A, C, T, G. This is the most amazing set of information in the known universe and is called the language of life. DNA is like a computer program, but much more complex. This is what Bill Gates says. DNA is like a computer program, but much more complex. There is nothing in the known universe that stores and processes more information more efficiently than the DNA. Bill Gates hires a lot of intelligent designers, software engineers, to construct computer programs. Information can only arise from a lot of intelligent designers. I myself is a computer scientist and I agree 100% with Bill Gates. Everything you see on your monitor is made by a lot of intelligent programmers, a lot of intelligent designers. Amino acids by themselves cannot make meaningful proteins. That's what the DNA does. Another thing is that without DNA there is no self-replication. Without self-replication there is no natural selection. You can't use natural selection to explain the origin of DNA without assuming the existence of the thing you are trying to explain. So from the question, where did we come from? We go to this question. Where did our cells and our proteins come from? From the amino acids. How were the amino acids formed? From the genetic instructions. Where did the genetic instructions come from? The DNA. Where did our DNA come from? Where did our DNA come from? If you can answer where our DNA came from, then you answer the question, where did we come from? There is information in life, in every cell and organism. It is not only matter and energy that exist in our cells, ourselves. Information exists in our DNA, and only intelligence produces information, not natural selection. End of part 1.